Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. This playoffs has given us so many good moments, and we're just now getting started. It's only the first round, and we've already seen Tyrese Halliburton hit a game winner. We've already seen Jamal Murray hit a game winner. We've seen multiple very good performances from these top guys. But the one that tops it all, in my personal opinion, Jalen Brunson, 47 points. 10 assists, doing everything he can to bring his team a win on the road to go back to Madison Square Garden with a 3-1 lead, and he did exactly that. This man was only 3 points away from having half of his team's points. They only scored like, what, 97 points? That is insane to me. Jalen Brunson went out there on the road and proved why he is the best guard in the East, why he is a top 5 guard in the NBA right now. And he was out there getting whatever he wanted. If he wanted a pull-up jumper, he was getting it. If he wanted that floater that he was abusing, he's gonna get it. If he wanted a turnaround J, he was gonna get it. If he wanted a shot at the baseline, he was gonna get it. If he wanted to go in transition and push the pace, he was going to do it. If he wanted to pass, he was going to make the right pass and make the right play to lead to a bucket. It's the reason why he had 10 assists on 1 turnover. Jalen Brunson went out there and put on one of the best playoff performances that anyone has put on in a New York Knicks uniform. The first ever 40-point, 10 assist game in a Knicks uniform. That right there is something to applaud. Jalen Brunson, you are him. You are him. And I gotta pop my collar a little bit. I have to pop my collar a little bit because I have been telling a lot of people who Jalen Brunson is. Now, granted, I did not think that Jalen Brunson was a 28-point per game all NBA first team guy. I did not believe that that was what he was gonna be. But back in 2020, I was on 2K. I was using the Dallas Mavericks, and I told my friends, hey man, you give Jalen Brunson a starting spot, he can give you 20. The reason why I said that to them then, I picked Villanova to go to the national championship against UNC back in 2016. I picked UNC to win the whole entire thing, so I ended up getting both of them right, but I just picked the wrong winner. And I was not going to make that same mistake in 2018, so I ended up picking Villanova to win the whole entire thing, and lo and behold, I was correct about that, and I saw the way that Jalen Brunson was playing. It led me to believe that he was going to give us some sort of good minutes in the NBA. I did not believe that this man was going to be something that he is right now, obviously, because I don't think anybody besides Jalen Brunson and his team believed that that was going to happen. Jalen Brunson is genuinely proving a lot of people wrong, and he's going to continue doing that. As for his whole entire team, the reason why Jalen Brunson was able to get the looks that he was getting was based off the way that the 76ers defensive scheme was. In the first 3 games, they were paying a lot of attention to Jalen Brunson. They were sagging off of Josh Hart, letting him shoot. Go ahead, Josh Hart. You can go ahead and take them shots. We will live with you making them or missing them. We don't really give a damn because we need to hone in on Jalen Brunson. It was different in game 4. They decided that they were going to at least put a hand up on Josh Hart. He didn't make anything. He didn't make anything but 4 free throws. That opened the game up for Jalen Brunson just a little bit. And you creak that door open a little bit, Jalen Brunson's going to kick that bitch down. And that's exactly what he did. I got to give praise to OG Anunoby as well, because the defense that he was playing in this game, especially down the stretch on Joel Embiid, really, really impressed me. He gave us 16 points tonight as well. And I think that he cannot go unnoticed when we're talking about some of the great role players that is alongside Jalen Brunson right now. When they're paying attention to Josh Hart, he did not care, because Josh Hart is more than just his scoring. And on top of all that, he's still going to be making the right play at the end of the day. This man ended with 3 blocks, 17 rebounds, 17 of them, and 5 of them was offensive. This man was out there hustling, doing exactly what needs to be done for this team to go back to MSG with 3 wins under their belt. Even with Precious Achiuwa being a non-factor on the offensive side, he still came in, played solid defense, being a plus 11 on the court, giving you 4 blocks. This is exactly what you want from your team. You want heart, you want hustle. This team had no Mitchell Robinson tonight, and they still snuck out a win on the road. Deuce McBride off your bench, his energy helped tremendously in this game. 4 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. He's been doing this all playoffs long. After not getting any burn in that 2023 run, He's getting it now, and he's proving why he should have been getting the minutes back then. This team has been looking excellent all series. Their execution is excellent. And the crazy thing is that in the midst of all this happening, the New York Knicks fans came in and raided Wells Fargo Center. I was looking at videos after this game where they were chanting Embiid in their own stadium. That is tough as hell. That is tough. And now we're going to go back to Madison Square Garden. I personally believe that the Sixers are done. I think that they will lose Game 5 on Tuesday. I did predict this to happen. I did say that the New York Knicks were going to win their first 2 home games and potentially steal one on the road, going back to MSG with a 3-1 lead, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So I am expecting the New York Knicks to close this series out, to go to the second round, to possibly face the Pacers, which is crazy as hell to think about. Now Dame's out. Now Giannis is out. We don't know what the hell is going to happen. We don't know what the New York Knicks opponent is going to look like. But I do believe that the Knicks are going to be the ones going over to the second round. But we need to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers for a second, because it's not really looking good for them. I kind of think that they're in trouble. But at the same time, it's like I didn't necessarily expect much from this team. I didn't expect much from this team going into the playoffs. So everything that they're giving me right now is honestly exactly what I thought that they would give me. Joel Embiid, he gave me 50 points. That right there is something I didn't think was going to happen. Considering how hurt the man is, plus the man has Bell's palsy, half of his face is paralyzed. So I never ever thought that Joel Embiid was going to go out and give me a 50-point game, something that he has never been able to do in his whole entire playoff tenure. Other than Joel Embiid having an inefficient 27, I did believe that his defense and his value on that side genuinely showed today with the 3 steals and the 2 blocks that he had. Kelly Oubre, he had a very good defensive night as well. He also gave me 19 points on 7 for 15 shooting. He had himself a great game. Ultimately wasn't able to pull out the win. Tobias Harris, still, what the hell do you do on the basketball court? I mean, he had 10 points, 7 rebounds, but other than that, he still gave up 17 points on the other side. So it's like, what the fuck is the point? Tyrese Maxey had himself an inefficient 23 as well. And I truthfully believe that this game just came down to who was going to have the better defense, who was going to come out and was going to out hustle the other team, who was going to out physical the other team. And the funny thing is, at one point in this game, the New York Knicks were down double digits, and it didn't look like they batted an eye. It looked like they just really didn't care. The crowd was going crazy. It really made me believe that we're going to have a split series going back the other way. That didn't happen. So it really is tough for the 76ers team. I don't even want to begin to talk about what they're going to look like next year, what moves they need to make, because their season isn't over yet. If you guys want to see a video like that, let me know in the comment section below. But we have one more game to talk about. That Clippers and Mavericks game was a classic. This man, Paul George, at the beginning of the game, gave us 26 points, 9 for 14 shooting. He was having himself a game out there. At the beginning of the game, he was talking about, oh, my rhythm, I'm feeling it tonight. Before the game even started, before tip-off even happened. So I had a feeling that he was going to come out and he was going to have himself a decent game. I didn't think that he was going to look like that in the first half. He was out there cooking. He was hitting the PJ Washington shoulder shrug. He was doing it all. The Mavericks, they came out in this one. They punched the Clippers in the mouth. The Clippers, they punched right back, and they found themselves up by 31. And of course, in basketball and Clippers fashion, they blow the lead. Because who else can blow a lead like that if your name is in Boston and your name is in LA Clippers? I mean, come on now. And at one point, I felt bad for the Clippers because I'm like, damn, no Kawhi Leonard. This is really going to happen to them. This is seriously going to happen to them, and it did. But at the same time, James Harden, he came to hoop. James Harden ends his night with 33 points, 12 for 17 shooting on the night. Tyronn Lue told this man, go out there and be a scorer, and that is exactly what he did. Playoff Harden made himself a return. This isn't playoff Harden back in the Boston series. We're not talking about that playoff Harden. He had 7 assists on top of that, had 1 block, 1 steal apiece, James Harden came to hoop, and it truthfully feels like that with every single player on this Clippers team, regardless of whatever the hell their stat line was, because I saw the hustle, I saw the defense. Even though they gave up a lead that was that large, they still kept their heads in the game, and they still proved why they belong where they're at. Terrence Mann had some timely buckets. Norman Powell had himself some timely buckets as well. This team played great down the stretch, and I gotta give them that. I have to give them that, because there were times where the Mavericks were finding themselves coming back, and next thing you know, it's a 6-7 point lead with the ball being in the Clippers' hands, and that is exactly what you would want from them. It's exactly how you want them to play. I don't give a damn if we blow a 31 point lead. We don't care about that. We care about finishing this game with a W. That's all that matters. And it really is upsetting that Kawhi Leonard isn't able to lace up his shoes and go out there and hoop, because I love watching Kawhi Leonard play basketball. But what I'm seeing right now from this LA Clippers team, it really does feel like right now they are playing better without Kawhi Leonard. So if Kawhi Leonard has to rest that knee for the whole entire series, gear up for the second round, that's probably what's going to have to happen. Because the only time that this Clippers team has won is without Kawhi. And that's not me saying that this team overall is better without Kawhi Leonard. It's just basically me saying that right now in this moment, this team does not necessarily need Kawhi Leonard to get past this Dallas Mavericks team, and they're proving it. However, speaking of the Dallas Mavericks, we need to talk about the L that they took, because there's nothing you can do when a team shoots 62% from the three-point line. There is absolutely nothing you can do. And the fact that they were down 31 against the team that is shooting 62% from the three, I think once again that's something to applaud, but you don't have nothing to show for it. The only thing you have to show for it is an L. So that 62% is obviously going to go down. You guys beat them on the rebounds battle. There's things that you can possibly work with going into game 5. However, the effort is going to have to be there from the other guys that isn't PJ Washington. Now, I'm not saying that they weren't giving me that throughout the whole entire game, because if they weren't, they would have lost by like 40, but they didn't. They ended up coming back off the backs of Derek Lively off that bench. His energy was great. Kyrie Irving, he led the charge in that comeback. PJ Washington, he got hit on some play, and after that play, he looked great the whole entire time, especially on the defensive side of the basketball. We're going to need that all 48. And one thing that I don't need Luka crying for every single foul. Like, it was genuinely annoying. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love watching Luka Doncic play just as much as the next guy, but there is one thing that I cannot stand when it comes to basketball, and it is crying for fouls. There are times where Luka Doncic is going out there on the offensive side and is trying to make a play, but in reality, he's just trying to get a foul call, which I cannot stand. I can't stand it at all. But at the end of the day, what the refs call, what the refs do, that's out of your control. That whistle is out of your control. You can only control it so much. At the end of the day, the refs are going to call what they want to call. You got to live with it. I understand the refs have bad calls. They always have bad calls. It's what they do. But it's like, you're the basketball player. You're not the ref. Go out there and hoop. Go out there and hoop. But other than that, I don't believe that this series is over for the Dallas Mavericks. I think that they can still win this. I did have the Mavericks winning this in 7 games. They've proven that they can win on the road. So we can see what's going to happen in this game 5. But that's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. The Pacers and the Bucks are playing right now as we speak. It looks like it is a close game. There is no Dame. There is no Giannis. I am expecting the Pacers to pull this one out and go up 3-1. This series has completely flipped on its head for me. I genuinely thought that even without Giannis, the Bucks can try to go out there, make it a competitive series. I wasn't really panicking when it came to the Bucks, but they're showing us completely different why we should be panicking because of their injury problems. And another game that's going to be going on tonight is the Suns versus Wolves game 4. I do believe that the Suns are going to get swept. So a video for the Suns is going to be out pretty soon. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But I'm about to get out of here, sign off, and I'm going to sign out. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I'm out. Peace.